You've probably seen a lot of 10 best places videos about the Philippines, but I honestly can't narrow it down to just 10. So as travel picks back up, I decided to put together a selection of my favorite adventures in the Philippines that I think everyone should experience once in their life. This video is brought to you by Discovery Plus. Your favorite real-life entertainment content streaming platform is now in the Philippines, and you can catch all your favorite adventure shows like Parts Unknown, Deadliest Catch, and Naked Afraid on that platform. All info is in the caption below, and I'll give you more details later in the video. So this list is in no way exhaustive, but I was just thinking about how lucky we've been to be able to explore our amazing country for work over the last few years. And there are a few moments that I really cherish and I know that I'll keep with me forever. These aren't for everyone. Some of these places don't have the modern travel comforts you might be used to, but if you want authentic experiences, stick to this list and you won't be disappointed. I will talk about these experiences in no particular order. Everyone knows about Surigao now, and it's a great place to go, but if you're looking for adventure and a certain raw feeling to your travels, it doesn't have that anymore. Further down south though, you have the provinces of Surigao del Sur and Davao Oriental. That whole east coast has surfing spots. We went around there for weeks just on Google Earth, basically looking for breaks on satellite images, driving there, and then figuring out if we could actually surf. You end up discovering gems, quiet towns, away from all the noise, and get to experience a really chill side to the country. We surfed a couple of waves there where the locals were telling us that we were probably one of the first to do so, which is really special. It's not always comfortable, but it's so rewarding. If you liked our Davao Oriental videos, check out Origins Philippines. This is actually a show that I did for Discovery before, and I explored some of the lesser known islands and tribes of the Philippines and got to cook some of their local dishes and traditions. So check that out, it's on Discovery Plus. The Mount Hamiguitan Range Wildlife Sanctuary is a national park in Davao Oriental and is one of the most special ones we have. Aside from endemic species of fauna and flora that you'll find there, it's a range that is shrouded in mystery, and when hiking it, it sometimes feels otherworldly. It's a moderate hike, sometimes actually really difficult, and once you're at base camp, you can discover so many things. It's not just about the summit like other mountains in the Philippines. You can really visit lots of nodes and places within the park, which makes it very different from the other mountain ranges in the Philippines. It's also very protected, and you're unlikely to see anyone else there because they keep the amount of people that can actually climb it quite low. So if you're looking for a complete nature immersion, this is one of my top recommendations for you. Samar is such a great place because it's still very raw. From surfing spots on the eastern coast that we spent days exploring to one of the deepest cave networks in the Philippines. We did a wet hike through the forest here and camped under a tarp, literally just a tarp, in the middle of the forest, next to the mouth of a cave network that you could probably spend multiple days, even weeks inside without seeing daylight at all. It really feels alien when you're in there and you're surrounded by just lush waterfalls and just raw growth. Barobo in Surigao del Sur wasn't really part of our plan. We just heard about it and decided to stop by. So aside from some beautiful islands and beaches, of course, the municipality also has cold springs, and this is actually really unique. The water is so fresh, cold, and refreshing, and it's one of the coolest sights you'll see. It's a small town that is basically built around pristine fresh waters and rivers. It kind of almost looks like the canals at Venice, but just cleaner. Everyone here swims, as this river system that leads to the ocean obviously is used like a communal pool, and that's so great to see. I would have loved to spend a few more days here just living in this town and free diving to the depths of the water holes, because I'm pretty sure it goes very deep. Trekking through rice terraces seems like no big deal. I mean, you see it on postcards all the time, but it really gives you a glimpse as to why people who live around the Cordilleras are so fit and why it was so difficult for colonizers to conquer these lands. The walks are always treacherous and dangerous, yet you meet different locals casually carrying like 50 kilos and their daily loads in slippers, zipping past you as you struggle walking on the rice terraces. This mountainous region has so many hidden gems, from waterfalls to idyllic little towns, and you can only access them through ancient rows of terraces, which is amazing. So make sure you just don't go to the famous tourism spots and just get out there and explore.
Hey Philippines! Hey Philippines! Discovery Plus is finally here in the Philippines.
Watch more than 20,000 episodes of the best real-life content in relationships, food, true crime, home, paranormal, nature, lifestyle, and so much more. The platform also houses the largest collection of BBC natural history programs featuring shows like Planet Earth, Blue Planet 2, Frozen Planet, and Life. If you haven't caught any of those episodes, they are absolutely amazing. So make sure you do that on Discovery Plus today. Another national park makes it to our list. Apo Reef is extremely famous already, just like other dive sites in the Philippines that we might have. But what I think makes it really unique is that you get to camp on this tiny island over this reef with few other people, and the park literally becomes your diving playground. This is one of the most pristine sites we have, and depending on when you go, you could have close-up encounters with turtles, dolphins, rays, and of course, some sharks. Talking about sharks, I absolutely love Shark Week on Discovery Plus. You've got celebrity guests and shark experts and scientists that come together and basically discuss sharks on multiple episodes. Bohol is known for diving, beaching, and obviously chocolate hills, and tarsiers actually. But I think it has so much more potential than that as an adventure destination for people who actually like to hike and camp. There are so many areas, lakes, and rivers to explore on this island. One of my favorite things to do is kayak through the river systems they have there. You're basically between the mangroves. It's just so peaceful and is a complete immersion. You can do this all day, even through the night, and even do multi-day trips where you kayak and then camp on the riverside or the beds next to the river. And apparently, we haven't done that yet, but apparently it's absolutely amazing. Throughout the years, we've slept in some really interesting places, and I think that's the beauty of traveling to off the beaten path places. We aren't really promoted as a road trip destination, but I think we really have the potential with so much yet to be discovered and the concentration of activity happening usually in big towns. This can only mean that we have a lot of areas that are quiet and really sparsely populated. To me, that equals true adventure. And for you to be able to do that, to explore those areas, you have to be willing to sleep basically anywhere. From hammocks by the side of the beach, to hanging them on trees, to tiny shacks by the water, homestays with locals, and tents in the forest. We've done it all, even sleeping in cars sometimes. Every location brings with it challenges, but so much more rewards. Naked and Afraid is probably one of my favorite shows ever. One man and one woman who meet up for the first time in the nude are paired and tasked with surviving in some of the world's most extreme environments for 21 days with no food, water, or clothing. I've been wanting to actually participate in this show, but I'm not sure my wife will allow me. Tawi-Tawi is a gem. I mean, each time I'm interviewed about traveling the Philippines, I always bring this up. I really wish that it were more accessible so that everyone could enjoy it. The culture there is just so real and authentic, and it escaped Spanish colonization, so it's very kind of like rooted. With that, you get beautiful beaches, amazing food, extremely welcoming people, and just things you don't see every day. People here live with the water, and as such, they've developed their own style of boats and houses. Every day when we were there, we saw people racing at the waterfront, so one day we asked if we could actually join them, and it was really fun. I'll end with Agusan Marsh because it's one of those places that you feel both free and stuck at the same time. This is the most fascinating place. Locals live in the marsh surrounded only by water and sparse landmass. They do everything by boat. We actually spent more time like paddling in boats than we did walking, which is a really strange feeling. And sleeping in the middle of a marsh was so peaceful and eye-opening. The locals here are really fighting hard to maintain their way of life because it's so historic, and I for one find that really inspiring. That's it. I hope that you enjoyed that, and as travel starts opening up again, hopefully these inspire you to get out there and get exploring and go to places that maybe not a lot of people get to go to. Most of these places I talked about are probably some of the most socially distant in the Philippines just naturally, so if you're looking for solitude, you will be served. Remember, Discovery Plus is available across multiple platforms, included connected TVs, web, mobile, and tablets for only 129 pesos for the first year. Promo runs until November 12 only, so make sure you subscribe.